Committee call the Schaumburg Village Board meeting to order for Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. I do ask if you have any cell phones or other electronic devices that you please turn those off so we can have a quiet meeting. As you can see, this is kind of a different setup, new digs for us. For our first time being in here, your first time being here. Hopefully this works out for us. We got 17 more months, 18 months maybe, to get through, and then we'll be back into a better environment. But I do mention this last meeting, I'll mention it again. Staff has done an absolutely phenomenal job of getting us into here, getting us situated. I realize that signage here, at least for internally, has really been done well. All the doors are marked, they've got signs of stuff and directions. You get in the elevator and it tells you what floors, departments are at and that. So I just want to repeat again that thank you to staff and Public Works. Michael, I know your guys were deeply involved. We did have outside movers, but deeply involved in getting this and making it happen. So Prairie Center staff, give us a wave. Okay, back there making sure he's getting all the mics. I mean, this was not set for this, so keep in mind they had to put this together, put the screens up, and do all of this, and have done a great job. So again, thank you very much. So I ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Patel?
Present.
Trustee Clare?
Present.
Trustee Sullivan?
Present.
Trustee Madej?
Present.
Trustee Bishke?
Present.
Trustee LaRosa?
Present.
President Daly?
Present, all present and accounted for. I would like to ask Clerk Jane Latino to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, if you wouldn't mind.
Please stand if you can. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, and did I mention that the temperature is much better in here? The whole building used to freeze. Next item is the approval of minutes for March 25th, 2025. Any questions, comments?
Move to approve as presented. Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is the approval of expenditures for $4,253,076.95. Questions, comments?
Move to approve the expenditures as presented.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the expenditures as presented. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Patel?
Aye.
Trustee Clare?
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan?
Aye.
Trustee Madej?
Aye.
Trustee Bishke?
Aye.
Trustee LaRosa?
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carries. Presentations. Presentation of Life Saving Award to Kathleen Hinkleman, Nursing and Senior Services Supervisor. So, oh, okay. I was like, wow, I don't have anything to.
No,
give out.
I got it.
Give you a
I got
business
it all.
card, but-
I got it all right here.
Excellent. Good. Good. Thank you, Chief. I appreciate it. So we have Chief Walter, Fire Chief Walters here to present this. This is good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, and I appreciate the time to recognize Kathy. Looks like she's got her support staff with her today. Her father was an Elk Grove firefighter, and her husband is an Oak Park firefighter.
Oh.
So
Where
I
I
think
grew up.
we're recognizing Kathy for actually 2 incidents that occurred in February. She was either reliving her ER days as a nurse or living her lifelong dream of wanting to be a firefighter paramedic. So with this, I'll read her commendation award, and actually one of our police personnel is receiving this award as well. Meredith Everhart, she couldn't be here, so we'll do a presentation to her at PD. But on February 14th, 2025, Ambulance 51 and Engine 51 responded to a residence where they encountered a patient who was actively bleeding from her wrists after an apparent suicide attempt. The patient, recently discharged from a behavioral health care facility, was distressed due to a lack of follow-up. Schaumburg Nursing and Senior Service Supervisor Kathy Henkelman and Police Department Social Worker Meredith Everhart arrived to perform a wellness check and discovered the patient's injuries. Their prompt assessment and immediate first aid likely prevented a life-threatening situation. And I think what's key to this is the fact that I think, you know, whatever it was, that intuition that this woman needed to be seen led to Kathy and Meredith going out there. So for that, congratulations. Come on up here.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, you ready for the second one? We don't usually do two in a row, but for the same person. But this is the Life-Saving Award presented to Kathleen in testimony of her contribution and service to the Village of Schaumburg and their assistance to the Schaumburg Fire Department. This employee is awarded the Life-Saving Award for their exceptional skills and dedication displayed at this described incident. On February 18th, 2025, Kathy was working at the Nursing and Senior Service Office when a resident came in to pick up equipment. After loading the items into his vehicle and Kathy quickly returned to the office. His wife quickly returned to the office to notify the staff of the emergency. Without hesitation, Kathy assessed the situation and determined that the resident was in cardiac arrest. She immediately began performing CPR in the vehicle. As the Schaumburg Police Department officer arrived, they assisted in removing the patient from the vehicle, and Kathy continued CPR while applying the AED. After delivering a shock, Kathy continued CPR, which ultimately helped restore a pulse. When Schaumburg Fire Department personnel arrived, they took over advanced life support interventions, and the patient was transported to the hospital with a pulse. Thanks to Kathy's quick and decisive actions, the patient is expected to make a full recovery. Kathy's heroic efforts on this day exemplify the highest level of care and commitment to others. Her actions undoubtedly saved a life, and we are grateful for her professionalism and bravery. Congratulations, Kathy, on your successful efforts that resulted in saving a life.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would like to actually say something briefly. I want to mention that the police officer that did respond did a lot of CPR and did get him out of the vehicle, which I would not have been able to do. So he was key to this life-saving, as well as the paramedics who took over from us. So thank you very much. I really appreciate the honor, and it's an honor to serve the residents of Schaumburg. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on to liquor license requests. We have none for this evening. We have a consent agenda. Be read in its entirety, voted on as one motion to approve. If you wish to discuss an item further, please indicate that when the item is read by the village clerk so that it can be removed from the consent agenda to discuss further under committee reports. Otherwise, all items will be approved as presented on the consent agenda in one motion to approve. I am going to deviate just a little bit here. Our first item is a proclamation, an attendance awareness week, April 7th through 11th, and actually we should have attendance awareness every week, I think, for students. But we have someone here from U46 and would ask you to come forward, please. So, if you don't mind, for just a minute, I'm going to read this, all right? Hopefully I'll be able to speak loud enough for everybody to hear. But this proclamation is, whereas school attendance is essential to student achievement and too many children in our community are missing critical learning opportunities due to chronic absenteeism. And whereas chronic absenteeism, defined as missing 10% or more of the school year, negatively impacts students' academic performance, graduation rates, and future opportunities. And whereas attendance is a community-wide issue requiring the involvement of families, educators, local businesses, and civic leaders to ensure students attend school regularly. And whereas School District U46 has implemented strategies to reduce chronic absenteeism and foster a culture of attendance through its Every Minute Matters can't read the Spanish version of that, but so, campaign recognizing that every day of learning contributes to a student's future success, and whereas cities and communities nationwide are raising awareness about the importance of school attendance through initiatives such as Attendance Awareness Week, and whereas the Village of Schaumburg is committed to supporting student success and partnering with School District U46 to promote strong attendance habits among students. Now, therefore, I, Tom Daly, Village President of the Village of Schaumburg, do hereby proclaim April 7th through 11th, 2025 as Attendance Awareness Week. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, you want to say a few words?
So good evening, I'm Suzanne Johnson, the Superintendent of School District U46, and I want to thank you for your support and your collaboration with this effort. We very much appreciate the partnership of the Village of Schaumburg. And as indicated, locally across the state and across the nation, there is an emphasis on making sure that our students, when they are well and able, are in school as much as possible. And so that is our Every Minute Matters campaign. And so thank you so very much for supporting our efforts tonight and for celebrating and honoring this week. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, can I ask you to come on up here? Allison, can I ask you to take a picture? You got camera, you want to take a picture too? Sure. Thank you. So, why don't you come on over here, all right? And we'll do this.
Okay, perfect.
Just, yeah, join in here. All right, we'll make sure you get a picture of that too.
All right, thank
All right, here you go. This is yours to take. Okay.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, back to the consent agenda. I'd ask the clerk now to read that for us. Thank you.
Number 1, proclamations. A, Attendance Awareness Week, April 7th through 11th, 2025. 2, Planning, Building, and Development Committee. A, the motion would be to approve an annual amusement and entertainment license for M&M Playroom Cafe located at 1228 North Roselle Road. B, the motion would be to approve an annual amusement and entertainment license for Mastermind Escape Games located at 999 Plaza Drive, Suite 111 for 2025. C, the motion would be to approve a contract with Christopher Burke Engineering of Rosemont, Illinois for interim engineering services in an amount not to exceed $282,828 pending approval of the fiscal year 25-26 budget and approve the required resolution. D, the motion would be to authorize the village manager to execute a 1-year contract extension with TPI Building Code Consultants, Inc. of South Elgin, Illinois for building inspection and plan review services in amount not to exceed the approved fiscal year 25-26 budget and approve the required resolution. E, the motion would be to direct staff to take necessary steps to eliminate sign licenses, increase sign permit fees, and eliminate residential temporary storage container permits. 3, award of bid. A, the motion would be to award the bid for Julie Drive retaining wall project to the lowest responsible bidder, Cox Landscaping LLC of Yorkville, Illinois, in the amount of $104,670. 4, resolutions. The motion would be to adopt as resolution number R-25-023, authorizing the village manager to execute a professional services agreement with Christopher Burke Engineering Limited to provide interim staffing for the position of Community Development Engineer. B, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number R-25-024, authorizing the renewal of a professional services agreement with TPI Building Code Consultants, Inc. to perform building inspection and plan review services. This concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you. Look for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Patel?
Aye.
Trustee Clare?
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan?
Aye.
Trustee Madej?
Aye.
Trustee Bischke?
Aye.
Trustee LaRosa?
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Thank you very much. Committee reports. We have one item that came from Zoning Board of Appeals. It was a recommendation to deny an amendment to Municipal Code, Title 15, Chapter 154, zoning pertaining to electric vehicle parking. I understand there's a need for some discussion and maybe even a motion. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think there's enough probably discussion that needs to be had on this, that we should refer it to committee of the whole for conversation.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion and a second to refer this item to committee of the whole for further discussion. Voice vote?
Voice vote's fine.
Yeah. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. No other items under committee reports. Comments from the public. It's an opportunity to come before the board here. Please step up to the podium. You can give us your name and address for the record, and then state what you have concern that's pertinent towards Village of Schaumburg. So.
How's everybody doing?
Okay. So,
My name is Micah Smith, and I work for a company called Connector, and I actually stay in Champaign, Illinois. So the reason I'm actually up here is because this is a meter socket adapter, and it simplifies the interconnection of solar and EV and even battery systems into the home. There was an install done in Schaumburg, and I get word from the installer that it was denied, or it was a failed inspection. So I gave the city a call, and I asked why this was not allowed. And they told me they didn't really have a reason. They were just saying it's not allowed, and it's something that they're taking to the committee. Okay, absolutely. Go down the road, they approved the plan set, so essentially they allowed the job to go, and it was approved. Still, it's apparently being in an amendment process, and I haven't really gotten any reason as to why this would be amended. The reason you would have a meter socket adapter is because if you have a full panel, you can still utilize our meter socket adapter and essentially skipping over a upgrade when you could be down $4,000 or $5,000 just from getting a solar job, trying to get your panel upgraded, and that's not including, you know, the solar panels and everything else. Also, this deters from an illegal line-side tap, you know, having to go inside, and those panels that are jam-packed. You're trying to make a tap, it's not possible, right? This deters from that. And we also have this for EVs as well. So an EV MSA. So if you have an EV charger at your home, right, you can charge at your home, right, you know, from your actual meter base as well. And this is also something in our renewable energies industry that is becoming a very big thing, as in we're not the only company doing this. You have companies like Tesla with the Tesla backup switch. You have companies like Enphase coming out with the IQ8. And these are all for their battery systems, right? These are all things that essentially are going to be with the meter socket adapter. And, you know, it's kind of a big hit when, you know, if the city kind of amends something that I really do think benefits the city greatly. And that's really my spiel.
So let me ask you, where does this go? This goes
In the meter base. So your
you
meter
take the
socket.
meter off, put it in, and then plug it all back?
Like a sandwich.
Looks like plugs on the thing. So-
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So your utility billing meter, and then we have your solar connection would come in here, right up at the top,
Okay.
and that's it. When it comes to, you know, our testing, there's never been a fire. We are tested to UL 414. We are also ComEd approved. And we're also, you know, working on Ameren, and we have multiple other states. This is the first jurisdiction that's ever, you know, came out with an amendment process for something like this. But, you know, I'm here and willing to talk with you guys about it. And I've gone through almost every jurisdiction around Chicago here. I was actually at Hoffman Estates, and it's something that they love this, as in, you know, it's something that they want to see, and they will.
In Hoffman Estates.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All
And
right, let me ask Trustee Clark, you kind of familiar with these things a
Yeah,
little bit?
that was, we passed that at the last board meeting, and it had gone through the electrical commission, and it had gone through the planning, building, development commission. I'm a licensed electrician myself.
Absolutely.
And the issue that we have with those is when you put that in, okay, and then you stick the meter in, it's sticking out like this. It's a hazard. If a child bumps into it, you got a fire, you got an electrocution hazard, and there are other municipalities that are not allowing them. We're not the only one. I don't have them off the top of my head. But it was reviewed by several other committees, and there are other ways. I'm not questioning, but a panel upgrade is not $4,000 or $5,000. And if it's a matter of safety, then I would think that the customer would be rather pay that than having that sticking out with another flexible conduit coming out. It's just not, we didn't, our experts on the electrical commission and when it went through other things, we did not feel it was safe.
Okay, I feel that, I guess, in a sense, even though it does meet all the requirements of code. And then when we talk about it sticking out that far, it actually has been weight tested as well, and can hold, up to around 75 pounds, and has been, this is all within UL 414, the testing for meter socket adapters, to make sure that they are compliant and safe, because all those things that you have said are actually listed within that, in those testings.
Not if a child runs into it, that's not listed in there.
Well, I mean, I don't know a child that's like that tall as well, when you have a meter base.
If it's an underground meter fitting, I think that can could be 24 inches, anywhere from 24 to
So-
30 to 36 or 40 off the ground. So yes, it can be hit by a
Okay,
child.
absolutely. So when you have a child, should they be running around, your electrical, equipment? These are all things, even if I had a regular meter base, that would still be an issue, correct?
It wouldn't stick out that far.
Around, I don't know exactly that, but,
It seems to me that it's probably, rather than take up a board meeting to address this, it would seem to me that there would be a more appropriate time that you could make a follow-up presentation to the board. Now, the board has already had some review of this done by the Electrical Commission, which recommended to not allow these to be installed. But certainly we can, and I don't believe you made the presentation there, so.
No,
but we
not
could-
yet.
We could allow a presentation at one of the committees. And my suggestion would be either, as we're all here, either committee, we have what's called a committee of the whole, which is an informal board, or at one of the standing committees. So is anyone interested in doing that on the board? Keeping in mind, it has been recommended not to allow these. So we do have an ordinance in place to not to allow these. But is anyone interested in further discussion on this item?
I think it would be common sense to do one of the committee meetings with trustee Claire on it, being an electrician would be advantageous.
You could send it to PBD if it's okay with Jack as the chairman.
Sure.
It's already been through us, but we can certainly discuss it again.
Okay, but you've not had anybody present it at a meeting?
Actually, community development did have literature on it. Julie did, and some of the other staff.
But you didn't have this gentleman or anybody else there?
No.
Yeah.
Bob Kreider was there.
All right, well, to be fair here.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine.
Sure, so we need your information in order to notify you. And you said you're from where?
Champaign, Illinois.
So hate to make it come back up.
It's okay.
The other
I'll do it 100
possibility is
times.
maybe we allow you to do a Zoom or something and make a presentation, but you put your name and address, phone number and that down on that paper right there in front of you.
Okay.
And we will get you the information on when the meeting is and when it can happen.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it,
All
everybody.
right.
Honestly.
Thank you.
We'll at least you can have some follow-up discussion there. No, not suggesting that we're going to change anything here,
Yep.
but at least allow you time to make a bigger presentation.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you. Greatly appreciate
right.
it. Do you still want my,
Yeah, name, address, phone number, so we can get in contact with you. The next meeting is, I'm not sure.
We're canceled in April, so we're looking at May.
Yeah, so it'll be May.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Anyone else wanting to bring matters to the village board pertinent towards Village of Schaumburg? Okay, so I'll move on to council report.
No report, Mayor.
All right, president's report, I have none for this evening. Manager's report,
I have no report this evening.
all right, new business, we have none. Unfinished business, none. Trustee comments and mentions. Trustee Madey.
Just like to remind everyone that the Boomers' first home game is 30 days from today. So
Wow.
get your tickets.
Okay. Coming up,
Let's play ball.
coming up quick.
If it doesn't snow.
Anyone else? No?
Motion to
Okay.
adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much.